One of the things I do after my exercise at night before I go to bed, I just walk around for like an hour and a half. I just walk around the house in a kind of circle, a fixed pattern. It's the equivalent of doing a couple of kilometers outside. But I do that in the house because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to go outside. And after I finish, I have a shower, and then I get the ointment I use on my knees. I rub this ointment on my knees in order to relieve the pain. I get pain in my knees when I walk up the stairs. I've had it for a while. It's not too bad. It's just sometimes it's a bit inconvenient. Okay, so I know every evening after my walk and shower, I put the same ointment on my knees. But my knees still hurt every now and then. But I do the same thing over again. Anticipating good knees. You know, Einstein said insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It's interesting how insane we are in this world we live in. Routines that offer no measurable benefits. But it either makes you feel good or it makes you feel like you belong to your community because every other person is doing the same thing. Kind of like religion. You know, you don't want to be the odd one out, so you just blend in. You know it does nothing for you, but you just do it anyway. And then that becomes your reality. Interesting. See, that's one of the reasons why I don't judge or make assumptions or condemn whatever anyone wants to do. You know, like it says in the book that they call the Holy Bible. I can't remember the exact place in the Bible, but I know it's in the New Testament because this was a statement from Jesus. And he says, before you take the speck out of your brother's eye, remove the plank from yours. That Jesus was one hell of a guy. So he's not even telling you to take a bigger speck from your own eye. He's telling you to take a goddamn plank, big ass plank from your eye, plank out of yours, before you take the speck out of the other person's. What does that tell you about condemning or judging? You see the world through your own circumference of awareness. You can't make judgments on another person's perceptions. You can make recommendations based on experiences that you've had, information that is verifiable. You're offering something rather than looking at somebody and condemning them for whatever decisions that they've made, judging them because of their ignorance. Because there are things that I too am ignorant about. Like I said, I rub the same lotion on my knees, and yet my knees still hurt from time to time. Evidently, I haven't learned that much myself. I guess in some way I just want my knees to get along with the lotion. It's a comfortable routine. It takes only a minute. It's comfortable. It just makes me feel like I'm doing something about the issue rather than ignore it. And so on to what I really want to talk about. That was the prelude. See, the feeling, this is a feeling that I've had. Feeling that I had. Guess I still have it. You know, the thing that COVID did, COVID exposed vulnerabilities. It exposed weaknesses and fears. And it exposed how helpless and hopeless we are in terms of geopolitical situations. I'll explain that. The term geopolitics is not something that I coined up. It exists. You can research that. But when the leaders of the world that we live in conspire in order to enslave humanity, and they create a situation that would assist them to achieve this goal. Let's not go too much into the details, but I found myself incapable of doing anything to change the situation. And that makes one feel weak. You can resign into a state of helplessness. I know I did at the beginning. I couldn't travel. I couldn't do this or that. I couldn't go out. I had to wear a mask, which I hated. And then I just stopped. But if I didn't wear it, I couldn't get my groceries done. I found alternative ways to sort myself out. But still, that inability to participate or do things that you used to do just because of something that doesn't appear to be what it is. And there's nothing I can do about it. I can't protest on my own and make moves to change the situation, especially living in the kind of place where I live. So what do I do? And then I realized that the external world that I am privy to be in has rules that govern it. And those rules were created long before I came into existence, or my father's father. Those rules were created by those who believe that they have the right to rule over the rest of us. And the rules they created, they've consolidated. matter what I do as an individual, no matter what I assume, I will not be able to convince any of them to change those rules. Neither would I be able to forcibly change them because I don't have the muscle. Regardless of my intent, fervor, passion. So, when you read The Art of War, especially when you read about stratagem, you have to pick your battles very carefully. You have to know the offensive and know the defensive. It says if you know your enemy but you do not know yourself, you would lose half the time. You know yourself but you do not know the enemy, you would still lose half the time. But if you know yourself and you know the enemy, you'll be victorious in most of your battles. So it's about understanding which part of this dynamic I needed to focus on. So I already know what they're capable of. I know who they are. I know about them. I don't know them specifically, but I know about them. I've been studying geopolitics for quite a while. And so I have a somewhat grasp on what's going on. And I do publish a lot of this stuff on my Telegram page, which you can always subscribe to if you want. That's EA2, EA number 2WO. Yeah, back. And so there are three parts of that equation. There is me, there is them, and there is change. If I can't change them, the very next best thing I can do is change me. Now the question is, change me to what? Because there's that feeling of helplessness, like, I don't use the word hopelessness because it doesn't apply. Helplessness, it's like I'm helpless. I can't do anything to change the situation. I can't rebel to the point where I make any impact. I just end up embarrassing myself and losing all my vantage points. So the next best thing is to change me. Through the process of changing me, I came to realize that by changing my perception, by changing the way I think, feel, I change the way I be. And if I change the way I be, ultimately I'm actually affecting the situation because I'm taking energy away from that cauldron of negativity. I'm no longer participating in it. I'm not focusing on it. See, your energy goes where you focus. So if I'm dwelling on all that is going on, I'm giving those situations my energy as well. Even though I'm complaining about it, I'm still focused on it. So my energy is still moving in that direction. Now, if I take all of that energy and I focus on improving the quality of my thoughts and trying to visualize a better future and training myself on how to, dress up spiritually, because first of all, I have to get spiritually naked. And then I learned to dress up spiritually. I like to word it spiritually, just your spirit. That's everything that has to do with the internal. I have to strengthen what is inside. Because ultimately, everything that is created on the outside starts from the inside. Everything starts from imagination. So, why am I assuming that this circumstance is any different? If I want a different circumstance, I should imagine a different circumstance. Imagine myself existing in a different circumstance, and then consider the emotions that I'd feel living in that circumstance, and begin to manifest those emotions right now. And who knows? In terms of quantum physics, superpositioning, I displace time and space, because that is what separates me from the version of me in the future. That's why one of my, I don't know if mantra is the right word, but one of them sayings attributed to Mr. EA2 is, I create my present from the future. I don't create from the past, because there are only memories. If I recreate the memory, I'm just reliving something that has happened. So I create from the field of infinite possibilities. That's the future. I decide this present from the future, because I'm moving towards the future. Fortunately or unfortunately, or whichever way you want to look at it, time is linear in this reality. We have not yet mastered the art of existing in the fifth dimension. We're still in 3D, and I have to adhere to the rules of 3D. And this is why I go within, because going within, maybe I can explore the possibilities of reaching the fifth dimension. This can only happen if I am tuning into the frequency of that particular location. So ultimately, the way to overcome this helplessness that I felt about the geopolitical reality that I currently face, and we all currently face, everything that has happened and that is happening and that will happen, from COVID to inflation to war to uncertainty about the future that is in front. But you see, when you're resolved on the inside, you become more and more impervious to the deceptions that come from the outside. It's necessary to go within. Yes. So, in conclusion, this thing I do, I go within. I find my strength inside. I focus on developing the person that I am spiritually. I work on everything about me, looking for ways to improve and be a better version. I don't particularly let the threats on the outside overwhelm me anymore. They're there, but they're suppositions to, when the danger is apparent, when the danger is real, then we will react. Until then, everything is just supposed fear. And, fear is always in the future. Something, false evidence appearing real. 7 videos back to this, or 7 audios back to this recording, I dealt with fear. Yeah, I'm done.